Hello YouTubers. Today's video is just going to be of the wiring harness that goes from the main battery to alternator to starter in a 2005 Jeep Grand Cherokee. This one has the 5.7. So I just want to make a video because there seemed to be a lot of confusion about the fusible link, since the manual does a pretty crappy job of explaining it, but it kind of shows it more closer to the alternator. But on this vehicle, it's actually like right on the starter connection, so it's all the way underneath the vehicle, and it's that wire right there. So you can kind of see it splices into the main harness there, and that is the fusible link. It's 10 gauge, and the main alternator wire, which goes into here, which is going to be your red stripe, and this says brown. The purple stripe is the ground, the red stripe is the power. That is the main wire, and I believe it said 6 gauge in the manual, so it goes 6 into 10. And I guess if you have any issue where it shorts to ground, is supposed to blow out that, and you could even see it says fusible link on there, kinda, right there. But yeah, it goes right into this main clamp that goes onto the starter, so I'm not really sure exactly how you would wire that in. You can tell mine got a little toasty, but it's still intact, and I tested it. There's just some oil residue on it. I redid this starter power connection because it was too short before, so I added a little piece of wire to it for the ignition part of it. Anyway, that's all fine. This harness goes behind the battery tray. It's part of the, I believe it's, so there's a pin in here for the starter. There's a yellow wire that goes into here. I tested that, it was good. And then there's also 2 wires that go to the alternator pin up there. Those were also good. The sensor portion of it. And then you got your battery post power. So you got connection that goes to fuse box, another connection goes to fuse box, and then it goes straight to the starter. And then you got the one from the alternator, which has the fusible link. It goes all the way up through there and bolts on the alternator. And then this side is the ground side. So you got ground will be this one. It goes up underneath the engine. It's really hard to get to. 10 millimeter. The starter's a 13 millimeter. What else? Battery posts are 10 millimeter. Then you also have this ground, which was 10 millimeter, goes straight to the frame. That one was very hard to get off. I used an impact very carefully not to break it. The rest weren't too bad. This little silver installation thing was just for exhaust. I kind of thought maybe the fusible link was in there because that's kind of where the manual shows, but it is not. It's just solid generator wire. These clips just pop up. There's a zip tie somewhere in here in the harness. I cut that. And then there's this clip that's like very hard to get to, which is like all the way under the engine close to the starter, and it just pops out. So you could just give it a good tug, and I ripped it out. This is not fun to remove, so it wasn't for the faint of heart, especially the starter side. There's very little room to get to the fusible link. I don't know why they put it there, but that's where it is. And that's your generator connections. And these little clips kind of just pop up. They go in the studs. That's pretty much it. So if anybody needs to change out their power circuit, that's what it looks like. Not easy to get to. I will say that the fusible link, you can get a really good view of it to see if it's all burnt up. If you take the driver's side fender well out, you can see. That's actually how I got the starter nut off this one. You could barely fit a 1/4 inch ratchet in there, and luckily the 13 wasn't too tight. I was able to break it loose with that. But anyway, you could get a good view of it from there to decide if you think it's bad. Mine didn't look too bad, but I already had it halfway out, so I was determined to just pull this out just to test it outside the car. And if you were going to rewire it, I'm not sure how else you would do it other than to remove it completely. Unless you just ran a whole new cable straight to the starter and started over. Might be easier than pulling this out. But anyway, that's what it looks like. So, I was able to get to the ground from underneath the car. If you remove the oil cover, it's very tight though. I'm not sure how I'm going to get it back in yet. But that's pretty much it. The generator nut is also 13mm. Alright, thanks for watching.